Today we will be discussing on the laws related to protection of women against violence. As we know that women has always been discriminated or and they have been subjected to a lot of atrocities, cruelty, torture since time immemorial. Women are always considered to be chattels and there has been violation of so many rights. But there has been, with the evolution of the time, there has been various changes, and there has, which is leading towards the protection of women. There are various laws being made which is specially protecting the woman against the violence. As Swami Vivekananda has said that country and that nation that does not respect women have never become great, nor ever be in future. And as Mahatma Gandhi said that where women are respected, their gods reside. So you see that even in India, where from the time immemorial, even during the times of the Smritis, or during ancient times, even during the Mughal period, or even during the at the time of in the various different eras, you will see that women were discriminated to the utmost level. They have been subjected to lot of atrocities and lot of tortures and cruelty. They were considered to be like slaves. But with time, there has been changes and there has been affirmative changes. And that's the reason looking into taking into consideration the various discrimination where a woman has faced, there has been legislations been passed by the legislature, or there has been various acts specially for the protection of women against the violence. And the various legislations in India in relation to the protection of women against violence are: there has been protection which is provided under the Constitution of India, protection under the Indian Penal Code, protection under the Code of Criminal Procedure, protection under the Indian Evidence Act, protection under the special laws. That means protection under special laws. There are various special laws where it provides the protection specially for the woman against the violence. They are the Special Marriage Act, the Hindu Marriage Act 1955, the Hindu Succession Act 1956 with amendments in 2005, Immoral Traffic Prevention Act 1956, the Maternity Benefit Act 1961, Dowry Prohibition Act 1961, the Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act 1971, the Contract Labor Regulation and Abolition Act 1976, the Equal Remuneration Act 1976, the Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act 2005, etc. So you can see that there has been various legislation in India in relation to the protection of women against violence, because women has facing lots of violence, and for their protections time to time various legislations have come up into being. First and foremost, we found a lot of protection under the Constitution, then protection under the criminal law, that is your Indian Penal Code, the Code of Criminal Procedure and Indian Evidence Act, and also the protection under various special laws. So now we'll be discussing the various laws relating to the protection of women which is provided under the Constitution of India. See, the Constitution of India not only grants equality to women but also empowers the state to adopt measures of positive discrimination in favor of women for neutralizing the cumulative socio-economic, education and political disadvantages faced by them. So you see that the Constitution, which is the supreme, you can say the supreme document, or you can say that it is the foremost important document to which everybody is bound, every citizen is bound. And the Constitution of India has got great significance. Everybody is bound to follow the Constitution, and this very Constitution, it grants equality to women. And it not only grants equality, but it also sees that there has been positive discrimination, there has been affirmative actions in respect of women in every field, in socio, economic, cultural, educational, political, fields. And so the constitution is protecting the woman against any kind of violence, because women are subjected not only to the physical violence but also sociological violence, emotional violence. So the laws which has the constitution of India, it provides specific provisions for the woman against violence. And we know that if there has been infringement of any constitutional provisions, then there has been a provision where we can go to the court. We can approach the legal authorities for the violation of these rights. So various constitutional privileges which are provided, or specific provisions which are provided for women against violence, and it is enshrined in the constitution under various articles. They are as follows. You see Article 14, which says that, I have already discussed the Article 14 in the class, and see Article 14, it is one of the special laws, you can see, for the protection of women against violence. It provides that equality before law for women. There are two concepts in the Article 14, and that is your, see the term Article 14, it speaks of equality before law and equal protection of laws. There are two concepts. The everyone should be provided equality before law, and there should be equal protection of the laws. And the important point to be noted of Article 14 is that it is available to any person. Any person means everyone. It may be the citizen, the non-citizen, the aliens, and the enemies. So the Article 14, it provides equality to everyone, to any person, and that should be the woman should be given, provided equality before law and also equal protection of the laws. There should not be discrimination of any kinds on the basis of any gender, and any kind of violence, it should be prohibited. That's the reason you see there are various instances, various judicial pronouncements where equality or discrimination which is faced by the woman, they have been prohibited. For example, in the case of like Nargesh Mirza case, in that particular case, what happened, that a woman air hostess was being prohibited from continuing with her job just because she was pregnant. So this was considered to be a discrimination against a woman. It is prohibiting the concept of it has been like not in consonance with the Article 14, that is equality before law and equal protection of the laws, and it was being prohibited. Article 15, next provision, or you can see the next protection which is provided under the Constitution to a woman is under Article 15, Clause 1. It provides that, it's Article 15, Clause 1. It provides that there should not be any discrimination in respect of any gender. So that means everyone should be treated equally. No one, neither the state shall make any discrimination to a woman, nor does any citizen shall discriminate to a woman. So this is one of the protection which is given to a woman. In case of any terms, in case of any manner, there shall be no discrimination on the basis of gender, and women should be given protection. Next clause, next privileges or next protection which is given to a woman, and this is one of the most specific or special provisions for a woman, is that under Article 15, Clause 3, which provides that there can be special laws specially made for the woman, and this is not in a violation of equality concept. This is a positive affirmation or affirmative action, you can say that, for the woman. So this is also the protection of women against any kind of violence, where there can be special laws for the woman. That's the reason we have got reservations especially for the woman, or there are specific laws for the woman. For example, the Maternity Benefit Act. We have got the Equal Remuneration Act, that is specifically for a woman. Next is Article 16, which provides that there should be equal opportunities in case of appointment and in case of employment too. So this is also one of the protection which is provided under the Constitution of India in case of two things, that is your employment and appointment. So there shall be no discrimination on any kind on the basis of the gender, and there should be equal opportunities in case of employment and also in appointment, and there should be reservations too. Next is your Article 39 Clause A, which tells you about that there should be adequate means of livelihood for the woman. There should be special protection for the woman and they should be given adequate means of livelihood. Article 39 Clause D, it provides that equal pay for equal work, where you see that's the reason we have got the Equal Remuneration Act 1976. So this is one of the special protection of to the woman, where they should be paid equally. There should not be discrimination of any kind. Next provision, which is special provision for the protection of women, is that there should be relief for the woman under Article 42. That is, there should be relief for the woman, for the maternity relief for the woman, and also the state should look after this for the well-being, strength of the workers too. And that's the reason we have got there has been a legislation specially for the woman, and that is your Maternity Benefit Act. And so that's the reason why under that particular provision, the women are being given relief, and it has been extended from 18 to 26 weeks. Then Article 46, specifically, it deals for the economically weaker sections of the people and also for the women. So this is also one of the protection of women against violence, which is provided under the Constitution of India. Under Article 47, we find that there should be adequate means of nutrition, adequate means of health facilities which should be provided to a woman. Article 51A Clause E, which is one of the directive principle too, and it is provided under the Constitution that there should be any practices which is derogatory to the woman, it shall be prohibited. So this is also one of the practices, or you can say a protection of women against violence, because you see there can be, for example, there can be no advertisement which is undermining the dignity of a woman. So there can be no practices where the dignity of woman is at stake. So this is also one of the special provision or for the protection of women against violence. Moreover, under Articles 243 D3 and D4, it provides, and T3 and T4, these four articles specifically provides the reservations of women in the case of panchayats and in case of municipalities. And there has been reservation in case of the post of for the position of a chairman also. There has been reservation in both the panchayats and the municipalities for specifically for a woman. So all these articles, it assures empowerment of women of India, and these are the specific protective measures for women which is specifically provided under the Constitution of India. So this is the protection under the Constitution of Constitution of India for the protection of women against any violence.